Hello, everyone. Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful day. And thank you for visiting my channel. Just going to go ahead and go through a quick spreadsheet that is going to be going up for sale pretty soon. Hopefully, you guys can enjoy this one. This one is a sheet that I created that only has three sheets, but it is going to be very, very useful, powerful spreadsheet. There's three. One is called the rundown system. There's the first sheet is called a story system, and then the data system. Right? So there's going to be three sheets, and this one is really cool because this one does have a story in it. Most people don't understand how Pig3 works, and a lot of times you want to break it down into bits and pieces. So I want to share with you what I've been working on. So the way this story sheet works is it gives you everything else in one pretty much in one area. If a number comes up, it breaks it down into pieces for us, and then it provides some information down here of what numbers may come up or how it may appear. So just let's take a look at this here. So and the way it works is, so if I enter a number here, so let's look at the history of pick three. So I'm in Arizona. So let's just play this here, the first through the sixth. Okay, so so this was this week's numbers that have came up. All right, so we'll go ahead and use that. And let me go ahead and just share with you. So the number, what I'll do is I'll put it in here, 340. So as soon as I hit it, it updates everything here. And then it's going to ask me the best rundown to use. So it tells me that the 251 rundown is the best one to use. Right. So, and then from there, it gives me an idea. Like here, 340 is individual digits here, and then it pairs it for you. There's a 3-4 pair, a 3-0 pair, and then the 4-0 pair. So it breaks it up into three different ways. And then it is a sum of seven. So if you add this as seven, the root sum of it is seven as well. And then the mirroring number is 895. So the 340, and the root sum again is here. And then from here, it also gives you a breakdown, like if you want to play the numbers, this using the same numbers, they'll provide it here, right? So it gives you like certain numbers of examples. And then here, it says here, even down here, even like the pair mirrors, it mirrors it for you automatically. It's for the 895 itself. And this one just says 340 number is a single number with the root sum of 7. And the mirror is 895, pair of 343040. What I just explained to you is all down here. So that way you have a better understanding of how to use the system itself, right? And the best rundown is 251. And the rundown list, so when you find out what the rundown is, you go to the rundown system. And it's over here already too, under the calendar itself. Okay, so all that information is there. And then from here, this is only one sheet now. Before I had all these different sheets at the bottom. I pretty much consolidated into one system. And the cool thing about this is now it's up here. So all you do is press this button and it tells you like all the different rundowns that you can use. So for an example, we're going to be using the 251. So we'll go ahead and click on 251. And then the number that we're looking up on the first is 340. So what I'll do is I'll put 340, and then I'll put 895, 895. And then from there, I'll just hit the run now button. Boom. Now adjust it to the 251 rundown for you. So if it was a 111 rundown, let's say we go to 111 rundown, I just hit update, all 111 rundown goes through. If I change this to a 123, it'll change it to 123 rundown. It's pretty cool, huh? If I put 777 rundown, boom, all 777 rundowns comes up. So it's all just in one. So, but we're using 251 rundown. Try to see if we can match the next numbers, the number that came up for the 248. So the way I would play this is pretty much I'll try to match up which number will play the best. So I've been studying certain things here on the sheet itself. So let's just take a look here. So the next number after the second came up was 248, right? So 248. So I normally use the date here, right? So here's the date. So this one is already adjusted. So it's 42. The 8 is up here. So there's no 8 here. Then I can go to the mirror as well. It's inside the mirror itself. So if it was under the 7, it's 2, 4, 8, 2, 4, 8, 4, 8, 2. 482 is wrapped around the 7 here. Okay, so, but I mean, you can always mess with the chart itself if you want to mess with the 251 chart. But it says here it's the best one that you can use. So that's why I chose that to play that number that way. Okay, so but let's say if we try, you can always test out the other rundown. So if you're familiar with, let's say, 317 rundown, change it to 317 rundown. And we'll adjust this to here for the second. So the second is here. So we'll put 588 up here, 033. And then you can run it again. Let's see if 248 shows up here. Nothing there either. See around the 2. So I always try to play the 2 itself for the date. See, there's nothing here. And let's see, it keeps pairing up and then pairing up here, pair numbers 2, 4. See, sometimes you can just adjust the date itself and bring the 0 down here. So let's try that. 419. Just to the 0 here. Still nothing. All right, so let's try a different chart. So if you don't think that will work, we can try the 1, 2, 3. That plays it here. 248, 428. It's attached to the 4 though. Let's see if we can attach it to the 2. So now you can just work it in one sheet. There it is. 1, 2, 3 work. Right at the 2. 248 straight. So some of these, I mean, it's just really understanding which chart to use for you that will work. So then you can put your numbers here if you want, what numbers you want to play. So let's just update this to the right size. So that'll be the 18 size, and then you can put your numbers in here as well. So let's say 248. So then, I mean, that's how you can put your numbers here, whatever numbers you want to play. Let's say you want to play 511, you know. That way you can see your numbers, what your numbers you're playing. And then inside the data sheet itself is all your data is here. So these are all the numbers that's been playing. So let me just increase the size here for us back to the standard size. So this one stays the same. So whatever number that has played, so let's say the next number is here. So the last date is November the 5th. I have the 6 up right now. It's 458. So what we'll do is put in 458, right? Then right now it's empty. See, it's blank. Nothing for the 6. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and hit new. All rows updated and refresh. So go ahead and go scroll down. 458 has been added. 458 and then 369 rundown is the best number to play with the 458. And each of these numbers on the right side is where it's at. The best rundown, the explanation, the sum, the root sum. So it gives you like a whole listing. So the number was 458, so we go down to 458. 458316 rundown. That's a monotone order root stability. So meaning that this number might be a bit high if it was a, see, it's the higher root number itself, and 17. So 17 was the number if you add these together. 8 plus 5 plus 4 is 17, which is the root of 8. So now I will go back to here and I'll hit run here. Automatic update your calendar for you as well. Now 458 is now up here that we just added. So I'll go to 458. I'll hit that. Everything change. See all what we just talked about. Now there's all these mirror section here. This one is now updated as well. Best rundown. That information's here now. And it just tells you what kind of pairs you can play, what mirror plans you can use. So it's just really just a bigger picture of what you're trying to do. So that way you don't keep guessing. You don't keep like, oh, this is a and then you write it out, then you forget. So now everything else is on 3 sheets for you. And this says here the best rundown to play would be 369, right? So we'll go to 369, then we'll enter the number here, 458 903 903. And your cheat sheet is right here on the side for your flips and your mirrors as well. So mirrors 1 to 6, 2, 7, 3 is 8, 4 is 9. Everything else goes down. And you have everything else in one spot. Okay, so for me to play this, I would probably play, let's go 199644. All right, so gonna update. So 7. So 458 played here. So 458 is right here. So what number is best to play? And it told us here that the mirror in pairs is this: 454858909303. That's the pairs, the mirror numbers. So the best thing to probably do on this is maybe just copy it and put it in here somewhere. What happened? I just copied it. So 485845. Let's do it this way: 454858. That's going to be 909303. Is that right? Yeah, that is correct. Okay, so 03. Let me change this real quick to text. That way the 0 sticks. Okay, so those are the 3 numbers. Just adjust this. All right, so those are the pairs. Just make it all the same size. So those are your pair numbers. So now here, 58 is what played with the 4, right? So now you got to find out if this going to still keep the 5, or if the 5 is going to go and change, or is it going to flip. So now we're going to be going to the 7. So the 7 is here. So it might play off of the 4. It might keep the 4 and the 8 as a pair, but it goes outside and drops down to a 1. And the data story here says root stability, monotone order, 4, 5, and then it jumps to an 8. All right, so but the previous number is 665. All right, so that's a played on a 223. So let's go ahead and just leave this as is, and let's change this to 223, and let's play. So I would probably just copy this part of it and maybe up to here. Let's just open a new sheet and just paste this in here first. And we'll come back to it. Let's just do it this way. Let's copy this whole sheet and paste it in here so that way you know what's happening. So now the 223, we're looking for a number 665110110. So we're going to look for that number, how the 665 has played. So the 5 is up here. So how the 458 came up. So now we need to put the 5 in here. No, we'll put the 6 in here. I'm sorry. So that will be 660115. Go ahead and run that. So it played off the 1 itself. So I think the 1 is going to stick with that 418. The only reason I'm saying this is because if you look at the mirrors here, this is the 1. So we need to put the 1 up here. So let's do that. 665110. So here, see, 458 is the number that came up under the 1. So since this is a 1, and now we go back to the sheet that we save, See the 4, 5, 8, the 1 is next to the 7. So tonight's number might play as a, if the 4 and the 8 sticks, it's going to be 4, 1, 8. That's what I would play. Because it carries, I mean, somehow it sticks with the where this number came up as from, because it came up under the 1 side of it versus the 6, even though the date is the 6, but the 6 is a mirror of 1. So if the 4 and the 8 is going to stick, it's going to stay. Unless here, this 5 stays and it keeps one of these other numbers, maybe it might even become a double again because there's only one double that came up and then it flips back to a single. So sometimes a double plays, a single, and then another double plays again. So let's go ahead and go back into this sheet here. See the 5 and the 7. But if you look at the 7, there's no 7 here. There's two 7s and a 5 next to the 1 here. Because 4, 5, 8 might turn into a 7, 5, 5 as well. Or 7, 5, and then the 8 stays. If still this thing stays. And the 5 and the 8 continues because the 5 has only played twice. Because a lot of times there's numbers that play that sticks with the same number itself. Like this 2, 4, 8 has played here, right? So 3, 3, 3, then 4, 4, 2, 2, 8, 8. Then the 8 continued, and then it stopped. And then I went to a double and a 5. Now it's now a double and a 5. This might come back. And sometimes the way you got to see this too is 6, 6. The 6, 6 can become a 12 or a 64. Because when a double plays, sometimes these numbers will follow. These numbers will follow if you calculate numbers itself, right? So sometimes that it happens if there's a number that has played, and if there was a double that played before, it may just add that for you. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, it is tricky. I mean, you just got to really narrow it down how to play it. But then sometimes I like to play the doubles itself too. So let's say if we play the doubles here, let's see. So this is 223 chart that came from this. So we go back to here. So this is the 369 chart. So 458 was going straight across here. So the next number shows it 775 as well. Because if you look at this chart here, it might be a 418 or 755 or even a 758 because the numbers here 758 is going this way, 758, which is the 5 is up here. So it might be, so I would probably play a 775, even the 557 I will probably play. And then from this chart here, what we save 418, 775. See 75, 577 goes this way, 577. Or if it plays this, 2 or the 6. Is there a 2 or a 6 on this chart? There's a 6 up here. And if you look down here, if it plays to the 665, see the 2's up here. 2, 6, 8. 6, 8. And if it changes back to a 2, because a 2 has been playing and it's been a hot number. So that's probably what I would need to add on this chart too, is what is hot, what is cold. Sometimes those are great ways to play. I have a guy I've been listening to that plays just straight numbers and he tracks his numbers. You know, if you track your numbers and how many times that number has came up, or which number has a play, or which pairs has a play. You know, sometimes people like to play it that way as well. But a lot of these sheets, a lot of people like to play it differently. Like when there's a double, I always try to use a 2-2-3 because it keeps up with the doubles for you. And sometimes I might play straight double, right? So, but this one is a 4-5-8 that came out of the double itself, right? So this is the 223, which is this chart, and this is the 223 rundown that we're using for that. And that's how this number came up. And it's under the not under the 6 itself, but it came up under the mirror side of it as 1. And it wraps at 458. Okay, so but that's the sheet that I have here for you guys. And I mean, if you want to try another number, so let's try a different chart. So let's try 649. Let's try the 649. So the 649, the number came up as 281. So let's put 281 here. Now automatically adjust. Best rundown for the 649. Right, so now the pairs are down here. So 282181737636. Right, so there. And now we're going to go ahead and change this to 281736. Then we're going to go ahead and adjust the chart to 649. So we go here, you run that. Now we're going to adjust the date, which the 281 goes to the 5, which is the 5th. So we're going to put the 5 here. So let's go ahead and put 647192. 192 run 5. All right, so now the next number that came up was 566. Right, so the numbers came up here, 656. 656 against the on the 5th from the 281. So it's always going to be attached to the date somehow. When it goes into the double digit, a lot of times it starts playing here versus these are the days like 1 through 10. This one plays to the like anything above 10. So let's try it out. So let's go to the 19th, right? So the 19th was, or let's go to the 17th. All right, so since we're in 649 chart, 049 was the number. 049594. 594. So we're already in that chart. So now the 17th is that number. So the 18th will be the date, right? So the number was 138. So now we're going to play this as let's put the 8 here. So let's do that. 400955. 955. So the next day's number was 138. See right here, straight 138. And look at the date here, the 18th. 18. 138. And this is off the 649 chart. And if I would have went to the 8 down here, same thing. 138. Straight across. It's on the 18th. Even goes this way, 138 straight on the 18th. See that? So that's based off the dates itself. So somehow the middle dates always play it. So let's try 138, still 649, right? So 138, 683, 683, and we're still in the 649 chart because that's what it says here. 138 is a 649 chart. So let's go ahead and run that, and then we're going to play the 19th, right? So the 19th is here. So we're going to go ahead and take that 9, this 9 here, and put it where the 6 is at. So I'll put 311, 866, 866. We run that. So the 9th again is here. So what's that number next? 869, 896, 896, 69. Oh, that doesn't work. 69, 896. See, somehow I played right at that area. Because the 19th is here. The 9 and the 5, or the 9 and the 9 are put together. And it's a 649 based off of that. So then from there, so let's try the next date, which is the 20th, right? So we're going to take this 869, 314. And then we're going to go ahead and play 999 rundown on this one. So we're going to switch this up and we're going to find 999 rundown. Go ahead and update. And now we're looking for the 20th. So we're going to put the 0 here. So it's 192, 647, 647. Run that. And now we're playing the 20th, right? So the 20th is where the 307 came up. So again, you got to look at the date. You can look at it here. You might find 307 here, right? So it did play right there. And you can go down to the 0 here, straight across, 307. It's pretty crazy, huh? It's really crazy. Like when you start studying charts and you're looking at dates. So sometimes the dates itself is where it's at. And it's just where the date, because the 20th is down here and it's saying here the 20th date, see, 20307, 20th 307, right? And then it might be, let's see, and then up here is 30307, but there's no 20, but it shows 21. So then from there, let's try another one. Let's try that 307. So go 307, 852, right? So 852, and now we're looking at the chart number 649. So we go back to 649. 307 updated. So now we're looking for the 21st. So now we go put the 1 here. So it's 763 218. 218. Those are the mirror numbers of 763. We'll go and update. Now we're going to go to the 21st. 21st is 470. 444. Now it's 406. See, there's nothing there on the first, but let's go to, now this one doesn't have any ones at all down the center, right? So there's no ones, but the one, the other way that you can do it is already 21 here. Guess what? 407 is here next to the 21, because this also played as a date because there's no one here, right? There's no number one in this column. So now plays down this column as the 1 as a 21 and 470 is sitting right next to it. It's pretty wild, huh? So weird. And at times when you start looking at these charts, it's pretty insane. But I mean, every chart works. Like if I would just play 317 rundown and still play that same number, and let's go ahead and put that 470 back in here. Or was it 307? 852. 852, right? So all the rundowns. So now we go to the 21st again. The 1 is already there. See, so 307. So now we're looking to a 407. See, the 1 is here. 1 is here. 470. 740 wrapped around the 1 itself. Because 21 is going right here. 21 is going this way. 470 over here. 470 here. 470 here. If you go to the 1 here, just watch where the 1 is at. 7, 7, 4. No, this one didn't work. 40. Yeah, right here. 407. Which this part is still the same over here. All right, so but that's literally how this whole system works. So now you can search faster instead of trying to go to different ways of understanding your chart itself. All right, so let me just get this chart back off. Clean this back up. So with this, so for tonight's number would be the same way, is 458 903 903, right? So now I'm going to use the chart. This is 369 Now I'm going to go ahead and go to the seventh. So what's the seven will be 199644. And the seventh is here. So again, the seven, maybe seven here, but it's going straight. Maybe it just might run straight. I need to play 717 as well. Or if it plays here, let's see, there's another seven here. 7757. I probably play these. All right, so that will conclude my video. It's been 30 minutes now, so you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching my video today. And this will go for sale here shortly, but if you guys want it, just put it in the comments that you guys want the sheet. And as soon as it's up and running, I'll go ahead and send you the link for it. All right, so have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.